to go now anyway.
I know.
I'm gonna press the button. Right, you ready? No time left.
Go.
Hopefully. Hopefully this works and it doesn't die.
Fingers crossed.
There we go.
No.
No what? Oh, we're already on bullshit.
Yeah.
But you said your Wi-Fi was off.
It is off. That's my data.
Okay, so right off the bat, for all y'all that are here, if you can even hear me, the PC died in the week a little bit. It just stopped powering up, like the one that we've used all volume and like upgraded our setup for. It just decided to stop working, so it needs to go get repaired. So we're now having to use the old setup currently, which I'm sure will hold up, but it may be a little bit laggier in places than it has been.
Yep.
It's a MacBook Air, so that's what we're working with here.
That's what we're working with, guys.
Yeah.
So if there are any issues, please let us know.
No. Well, unless it's really bad, but
Yeah.
if that's what happens.
Oh yeah, you've got your glasses on for the stream for the first time.
Yeah, it's
I
because
forgot.
my eyes are too blind today. Yeah, I want to real appreciate Cinder. So I got my Glakes on.
You're not even a Cinder stan.
No, I know. So yeah. Hopefully everything goes smooth, but that if there is any lag issues, for a reference, when we're streaming on the PC, which I was able to get because purely from help through Patreon, like the funding we got through Patreon allowed me to get a really good PC. So when we're streaming, usually it uses about like 2% of that's CPU, whereas it's using like 20% of the max CPU, so that's what we're dealing with here. It's making noises.
Yeah.
This is what we worked with, to be fair, for Volume 6 and 7, so it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But
It's not great.
yeah, it's not great. But yeah. Chapter 6 though.
Bro.
So if you've not seen chapter 6,
I have so much to talk about.
Go. Leave.
Oh.
Flee.
Not yet, but yes. If you haven't seen chapter 6, please vacate the premises.
Yeah.
Because from here on out, this is not a spoiler-free zone. We will be talking about chapter 6 in full.
Yeah, if you were wondering, this was basically everything that Senny had ever wanted and more.
For the last about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. So that caused quite a reaction.
Nicholas, I do think that the apathy will show up. But we will get to that.
We have pics.
We have some
We've
bits.
had pics of those sneaky lanky lads.
Sneaky link.
They were trying to like hide behind on a ground, but they got seen.
Also, just to throw it out there, something that I saw on Twitter just before we jump in and start talking about the Cinder backstory that we've seen in this episode. Apparently, this was written from the start. Lindsay put up a tweet about how well Jessica did for the voice acting in this, and that they were so excited to see this done since they first read it back at the start of the show. So they've had this sitting for years, and it's all we've been asking for. Any of us Cinder stans, as I'm sure there are many in the chat today, we've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. I don't know, you know how obviously she said it's been planned from the beginning. I don't think to the same detail.
No, I think the detail is
I think that
more.
the general Senny looking like she's ready to drop a 10-hour presentation on just Cinder. You'd be right.
Listen.
Wait till I talk about like what the last like 2 hours has been since we watched the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't think the details of what happened with Cinder were planned out. It's just more the specifics of she was an orphan.
Yeah, the skeleton.
She was in a wealthy family, basically a slave, like Cinderella. Like they had like the bare bones, but not like all the detail that was actually in this episode.
Yep.
I just can't believe it took so long to get to it. Like we're 8 volumes in and we've just got it. we've obviously had little tidbits,
especially
scattered.
in Volume 3 with how she met Emerald and Mercury. But that was less about Cinder and more about them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oof.
So she's Cinderella, except with murder.
Which is what I'd headcanoned anyway. She did have some sort of abusive family or something that made her who she be, and they certainly made her. They made a monster.
I feel like I am kind of the opinion that we maybe could have had Cinder backstory in Volume 5. Like, I think they managed to weave it in well enough with her and Salem.
Yeah.
In this volume, they managed to connect those things quite nicely, but I feel like it could have happened earlier, and it wouldn't have changed laws.
Yeah, I think it could have happened earlier, but I feel like the way that they showcased it in this episode at this time, contrasted with the way that Salem treats her right now, was just a really good way to like weave it into the story, especially because Cinder was like passed the fuck out after that fight with Penny.
Yeah.
It makes sense that she would, in her head, go over her beginnings again. So
yeah,
no Cinder protection squad. She protects herself. She doesn't.
She also, I still don't feel like she's deserving of it. Unfortunately, like, I think that's the point of episodes like this: is you're not supposed to now want that character to have redemption. It's all about understanding their motivations and desires and why they do what they do, which is better to sometimes know, but it doesn't mean to say, oh yeah, now they can be fixed and like saved. Like,
no,
she is going to 100% become a monster. She's already on that path. Like, unfortunately that is her path. I'm sad to say for this understands, but I do have to think that is her inevitable conclusion, is she will become consumed by her anger and her desire for power.
Yeah.
And relevance, that she will, inevitably become a monster to do so.
Yeah.
Already kind of has.
We kind of went over this a little bit in the reaction about sort of villains and redemptions, and really the only villain that I could see / want a redemption for is Emerald. I feel like, you know, out of anyone, she kind of deserves the redemption a little bit more than any of the other ones, and all of the other ones have either done too much to be redeemed, or it's better to just leave them as villains. Like Chad. Mercury.
Yeah, Mr. Chad.
Mr. Chad.
I could see that Cinder could eventually become like the Hound, but not exactly the same, which would be a really weird sort of metaphor for her, as like she's finally like welcomed and like appreciated, but she's had to become this horrible thing to do it.
This comment.
What?
To whoever on the design team had the idea to have child Cinder wear asymmetrical uneven pigtails because she never had anyone show her how, or had her use a mirror for it. Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a very nice way of visually showing her like changing and becoming more competent as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we should probably just jump into our screen, guys, because we got quite a lot here. Annie basically acted like she was high after this episode. She was talking so quick that I was missing words and phrases, and I was just turning to you like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense.
To the point that I went to the shop to get some stuff for dinner and ran into your sister.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have time to talk. Like, I need to just get this. Like, this was a really, like, crazy episode and I need to go. So, like, saws.
That makes you sound awful. Maybe you're the Cinder of our world.
I mean, I was her for a couple of years.
So we got little orphanage. Cinder confirmed that she is an orphan. Not surprising that there's orphanages in this world, given how often settlements are completely destroyed and parents killed, and obviously parents even being huntsmen.
Yeah.
Like, we know a lot of characters that don't have both parents or have no parents as a result of Grimm either.
Yes, exactly.
Destroying settlements, or parents that were huntsmen that died. So it's not that surprising that there's orphanages. This is obviously one of the crappier orphanages of...
Really terrible. It was like boarded up windows and everything.
Yeah, it was very much like yokeled. It was bad.
Yeah, it was not good. And obviously we've got Cinder being bullied. Probably because she's kind of shown in this to be... What?
I'd be like, fuck Kelly's sister. Gotta talk about Cinder.
I didn't even tell her about Cinder. I was just like, I can't talk. Yeah, so I don't even know where the fuck I was going. What was I saying?
About the orphanage.
Oh, that I feel like she was picked on more because we were kind of shown through her actions that she's like really weak at this point. She doesn't have a lot of like strength to stand up for herself, sort of mentally and physically. So she's an easy target, really, isn't she?
Yeah. The thing that I liked as well is that we never actually got confirmation about what happened to Cinder's parents because we didn't really need it. Like, it could be that her parents just gave her to the orphanage. I'm kind of headcanon that it's more likely that they were killed by Grimm, not necessarily as huntsmen or huntresses, but just killed because of where they were.
Yeah.
And this is where she's ended up, and it probably happened when she was quite young. Like, I'm going to guess she's grown up in this orphanage for the most part, just by the way that she is.
Also, what is it with RWBY and having a problem with good parental relationships? Have you forgotten about Gira and Callie? The best parents out there.
Yeah.
They're
kind
all
of
good.
an exception to the rule, to be fair.
Anyway.
Remember how long it was that we all thought that Blake's parents were just dead?
Yeah,
and then suddenly they were like,
she never
hey,
brought it up.
they're good parents. What the fuck? I thought you guys were corpses. Oh man, it was such a surprise. Yeah, so Cinder gets thrown about a lot.
A lot.
As you said, obviously much physically weaker than she is going to become.
Yes.
And
probably really hopeless at this point, actually, for Cinder, because she's like, hello Alex, she's like maybe like 9 or 10. Like, we know that she's 10 like later on in the episode, so around about this age she's probably like between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
And this is like a really terrible thing to go through. Like, everyone always talks about how bullying like really like hinders a child like way into their adult life on how they deal with things. And
well, Cinder learned from the get-go that like violence was like the way to prove you were
answer.
strong.
Yeah, she didn't have parents to say to her like, now listen, just because they're bullying you doesn't mean that you hit them back, you know? Like,
yeah. I already made the joke on Twitter, but if only Cinder in this orphanage had learned to play chess, she might have turned out okay. And
with a nice janitor to look after her instead.
She might not have turned murdery.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get that reference, congrats.
Congrats.
And then we cut to, obviously she gets adopted by this
woman.
English bitch, basically.
Yeah. We didn't really know anything about her at this point. It was just
Question.
Yeah.
Actually, I've answered my own question in my head. I thought it in the episode, and I'm like, is there any character in RWBY that actually has an English accent other than this woman and her daughters?
Gavin's character. Scarlet? Is that his name?
That's true. I mean, he barely even speaks.
I know, but who else?
Ublik, but it's not a good accent, but he does have a vaguely English accent. I'm just like, where do the English accent people come from in Remnant? Like, which part of Remnant does the English accent come from?
Yeah,
and not the American.
The English.
Yeah, not the American. It's just like this random island of English people.
And to anyone that says British accent, no.
Get out.
Get out. There's so many accents, and this is an English one.
Yeah, so she ends up in Atlas.
Talk has one.
Oh my god. There's a weird part in Remnant that has English people. There's like not lots of them, but there's obviously some, because that's the only accents we've got are American and English.
Yeah.
So there's obviously like a little English island somewhere.
Yeah, there's somewhere in Remnant that they're English.
Maybe the empire, the old empire of Engloid, expanded into Remnant more, and they've just got one settlement somewhere in Remnant, just like a little island.
Oh man, I love that this got blocked because they said Talk has a Cockney.
Oh no. English isn't
Oh,
even
my
a
lord.
thing.
Anyway.
That is true. Gavin just spoke normally for Scarlet, but now I'm very invested in this. There are English people in Remnant.
We did get the motherfucking loaf for
Yeah.
this. The whole loaf.
That's true. Velvet has an Australian accent.
So she does.
She's the outlier though.
Lonely Australian,
Yeah.
as Sally said.
Maybe she grew up around the English people, but like sort of mixed it weirdly with the Americans. So it's like it's Australian to us, but it's actually a hybrid of the two. She's just one of those people because she's very observant.
Alex, no. No. I fully disagree.
But yeah, confirmed that Cinder basically grew up after the orphanage in Atlas.
In Atlas. In this very Art Deco building.
Yeah, so now, well, obviously all the stuff that we've heard her say about Elysian elites.
Yeah, did she not call them like Atlas mutts at some point as well?
I don't know, but
Elysian
I
mutts,
certainly
maybe?
remember her calling, saying that they're
British.
greedy.
British.
I can't believe we're all really stuck on these English accented characters. That's like this new theory.
Yeah, I saw the no faunus.
Yes,
sign.
I'm pretty sure there'll be screen grabs of that. It was shown a
Probably.
few times. But obviously a very high-end hotel somewhere in Atlas that is of note and has quite a lot of guests. This is where Cinder ends up and becomes very jaded.
Yep.
Because if she thought her life in the orphanage was bad, this like
Oh Lord,
is way worse.
much worse. And this is huge.
Yeah.
This is a huge hotel.
Yeah.
Very beautiful hotel. As much as it's a shit place for her, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
We're looking at it.
Just the chat and this. We've got the chat in a different place than we usually do, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, this very, very cool Art Deco design very much reminded me of Rapture and Bioshock, but obviously not underwater.
Mhm. Of course.
But the decor reminded me of that, and then obviously the clock having prominence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice design.
It's really that. Actually, a lot of the design in this episode, like from the lighting to the actual like what you would I guess class as like set design, like your backgrounds and stuff,
Yeah, the scenes.
incredibly put together. Really, really love. Actually, everything that they did with this episode, like visually, beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Ah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, then we have English Bitch 1, 2, and 3. Specifically.
Yeah,
that
so
was their names in the
obviously-
credits.
Obviously, the evil stepmother and then the ugly sisters.
Yeah.
That's what they're called, right? The
Yeah,
ugly sisters.
ugly stepsisters, because they're not
Yeah.
biologically
Yeah.
related. Yeah, they're all nasty pieces of work who basically
Real nasty.
have adopted Cinder under the guise of like, oh yeah, we'll give her a good life. Look how rich we are, and actually their intentions are, oh yes, let's have a child slave.
Slave labor.
Oh yeah, horrific.
Love you, Snowflake.
Very bad.
Really bad.
Makes me wonder what she would treat Faunus like, because obviously Cinder's not even a Faunus, but we know that this place don't like Faunus, so God knows what they would treat
Yeah,
Faunus
like if they are, oh yeah, evil step bitches. I like that.
Step bitches.
Yeah, like considering how bad they are to Cinder, who is just an orphan, really at the base of it. Like it's not, she's nothing more than just an orphan at this point, and they treat her like shit. But, yeah. You're absolutely right. I do wonder what would happen if a Faunus, like, came in. Because there was no sign in the front of the hotel that said no Faunus. It was only at the front desk. So, like, they would have to walk in.
My other question is, like, it's a bit random, but obviously she has the because this is not probably going to be a character of significant note. I say that, and then I'm going to clip myself saying this, and she's going to be really fucking huge at some point in the lore of RWBY. But I wonder if she, because she was anti-Faunus and she's obviously from a place of wealth, I feel like there's no way that she's not got like investments and stocks in the Schnee Dust Company. Like I feel like there's no way that she's not involved in that in some small way, even if it's just she's heavily invested in it.
Yeah, because at this point, obviously we don't actually know how old Cinder is.
It's not
currently, but it's clearly
it's
not
still in
that
the right
old.
timeline. Yeah,
It's still in the right timeline, so it's still owned by Papa Schnee.
Yeah,
Who we all know hates Faunus So I think this is after the Faunus War.
Yeah, it is definitely afterwards.
Yeah, it's just there are still places.
I don't think Cinder's that old. I think she's maybe like in her early 30s, to be honest.
If that,
yeah.
Because honestly, like sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, she could easily be in her 20s.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Like obviously that's 10 years, but like somewhere in her 20s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just wouldn't be surprised if she had, because it also tells you how fucked up Atlas is, even more so that like a child slave thing was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
And nobody did anything really about it.
Yeah, I also agree with the people in the chat that are saying that she's like maybe between like 23 to 27, like around Winter's age. Like
Probably, yeah.
That's where I would have put her, because I really don't think that she's old, says me, 5 years away from 30.
Also, to be fair, she's been through like a lot of trauma. Like that does affect how you look at stuff too. Like it wouldn't be surprising
And
if
how you act.
Yeah, she's acting older than she actually is.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
close up of the bitches.
Yeah, looking very English, very Victorian
Actually
English.
very English.
Yes.
Literally the only difference is one of them are wearing pants, and you wouldn't get away with that in Victorian
No, but it's
England.
got poofy things on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's literally the only thing that gives it away that it's actually not Victorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the one on the right reminded me of? But like she's like the Antichrist version of.
Who?
She looks like the Antichrist version of Tuesday from Carol and Tuesday. Like
You're absolutely right. You're so fucking right.
Yeah, I just I thought it in the oops, and I was like, that's fucking no.
Boo. Hate that.
And then she basically throws bread at Cinder, like, yeah, no, you can work for us.
So she was like, I want this floor like clean enough that you can eat off of it. And then throws the food on the floor, and then is like, oh yeah, the floor's filthy, by the way. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, somehow they managed to make like the worst RWBY character ever.
Apparently on the Wikipedia it says that Cinder is early to mid-20s. So this is really only about a decade ago that this happened.
Yeah.
And they were still like, no Faunus.
No Faunus. Then we get a little young Sprog Cinder bringing food to the different rooms.
Yeah, doing her room service in between cleaning floors,
Wow.
in between putting
the
food
scene
together.
was the worst.
This
with a strawberry cake. There was so many straws on that cake.
She's clearly starving. They like are not feeding her enough. That's obvious. So when she's like putting together this cake, it's a cake, right?
Strawberry cake. With
strawberry
way
cake.
too many strawberries.
Way too many strawberries, and then she was like, oh man, like maybe I could like steal a straw, like who's gonna notice? And then they were like, no, you can't do that. And then stole a strawberry. The audacity. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they're
Yeah, I'm around Cinder's age too. I might actually be older than Cinder.
You're a better bitch. Just like Cinder. It all adds up. And then we have her doing this is her literally eating scraps.
This is her, like, so she's clearly so hungry that she is just, like, stealing scraps from other people's trays that they've left out. And what a terrible situation to be in, that you're so hungry that you're stealing scraps. I've been there in one of my old jobs where, like...
I was like, what?
I've been there.
One tragic backstory.
No. It was, like, one of my old jobs, like, because breaks were so few and far between.
Okay,
like,
right. I thought you meant... I was so
it was
confused.
scraps, man, because
like,
I was
what?
so fucking hungry. Like,
When were you a child slave?
I wasn't, but I was working for too long with no break, so
Yeah.
it's scraps time.
Scrap City.
And then we've obviously got our huntsman, who is basically like knight in shining armor, really.
Doomed to
Isn't
a
it?
tragic fate.
Yeah. And he recognizes straight off the bat that she's not being treated well, just from this one interaction where she trips and drops a whole bunch of stuff. And he can just see it on this woman's face. Like,
You just caused the chat to now all be like collectively worried. Like, are you okay?
I mean, you do know that like my username is Cinderfall, right?
Oh wait, yeah, you can actually. This is a good time to like re-explain that bullshit.
No, I've explained it enough.
Okay, so Senny's full username is Spanish for Cinderfall.
Yeah.
So like,
it's probably not great Spanish.
Ever wondered why she's such a simp?
Like, I've had this username for at least 5 years.
Yeah, so she's been big simp city for Cinder for a while.
Yeah. Kelly will end up like Emerald. No, you won't. You're literally not allowed to become my Emerald.
Oh, no.
I would rather be your Blake than you be my Emerald.
Little semblance reveal here for Cinder. I'm gonna guess this may be the first time that she ever activated her semblance.
Yeah.
Because it was completely out of control.
It was totally out of control. But, like, what a way to figure it out, because she had spent ages scrubbing the carpet with a brush. That's fucking bad. And then these bitches walk in covered in mud, and they're just like, oh, you missed the spot? Like, fuck you. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Sorry, I'm just distracted by the chat. Like, I also thought that in the episode that it's like a bit, like, it kind of tarnishes this guy's reputation a little bit, that he is regularly like drinking in what is clearly an anti-Faunus hotel. It just tells me though that it's like a common attitude in Atlas.
Yeah.
Like, he probably went to at the academy in Atlas, and that's just his attitude, and it's probably quite a common attitude to run into up there. So yeah, it kind of tarnishes his character a little bit that he's just constantly giving this business money that he knows has these kind of policies, but then it sounds like Atlas is just basically that's prevalent
so
attitude.
They live in a city, so they would have had to go out and like find mud to do that to the carpet.
It's pretty dedicated.
Bitches! I hate them!
Oh no, I had a terrible thought.
Oh fuck, what?
Maybe they just shit in buckets and threw it everywhere. So it wasn't even mud.
I mean, if it's supposed to be like Victorian England, then yeah, it would be accurate, because they would just throw their shit out the window at the end of the day.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't include that important scene in the episode.
Yeah, someone fucking shouting in the distance, Gardella!
Oh yeah, because that's going to make sense to anybody.
No, but the Scots will know.
Well, they won't even know.
They will. So obviously when she like throws this like brush, it makes like a dust cloud. Is that what it is? It's like
it's
dust.
Yeah.
Which like absolutely everyone would have seen, because it was on the balcony.
Yeah.
Including head bitch here.
Head honcho.
Yeah. And all of the guests are pure like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is typical rich person behavior when like something like this happens, and all of them like turn around and look to see where it came from, because they're so fucking nosy. They just want to get someone in trouble. Yeah, it's the steam clouds because of the heat.
And then we have obviously that anti-Faunus.
Yeah, there we've got the anti-Faunus.
The Faunus in this establishment. I know she's English.
And then...
Oh yeah, probably one of the worst things in this episode.
The shock collar, which actually is fucking barbaric.
Yeah, where did she get this? She had to have bought this from somewhere. It's human sized, like, it's for a human neck.
Yeah.
So she commissioned this from someone, which is super, super dark.
Yeah, and I feel like, actually, she could have got this under the pretense that she was getting it for, like, a faunus to make them work better.
Yeah.
Because if we've learned anything from the way that Atlas treats people, they hate their faunus. So it wouldn't have actually been that surprising if she was like, I need a shock collar for this, like, faunus that I have to make them obey me. And they'd just be like, okay.
I'd love to comment in the chat. I sense mild racism towards the English. Unfortunately, it's just the way that Scottish people talk about the English. It's just literally what
Sorry.
happens.
We have English friends.
Yeah.
They agree with us a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So if this was a decade ago, it would have predated the White Fang turning violent by half a decade or so. So it makes sense this racism is more upfront. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Because Blake did say in Volume 2, I think, that it was only after they started getting like more violent that people were being more accepting of it, because they just didn't want to put up with the violence of it anymore, even though they started it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we did see some signs, like in the recent volumes as well, in places that were antiphonous, although I can't actually remember if that was Atlas. I think that was actually Mistral. But like, yeah, I think this is definitely probably predating when the White Fang turned violent, because that is a recent history, like, well, since basically Adam and Sienna, so the last sort of 5-6 years of the White Fang.
Also, Emily was asking if Jessica voices young Cinder as well. Yes, she does, actually.
She just kind of changes her pitch a little bit.
She changes her pitch, she changes her enunciation of words as well. Yeah. Seriously, though, all Cinder needed was a hug and someone to be there on her side. She did not get that.
Yeah, I mean, this episode is obviously gradually showing her, like, she probably didn't have a lot of it to start with, but any kind of humanity is just slowly eroding away.
A losing game.
Oh, also, obviously, like, the fact that Cinder did this is why she covers her neck, like, because of this. Yeah. It's not gold.
We will get into this.
Oh yeah, we got the pic. Look at this bitch.
Look at her. She's like fucking enjoying this.
Well, she literally sees Cinder as a dog. And the shot collar is a convenience. Like, she can just press the button and it's like, oh, disciplined. Yeah. Obviously, it ends up screwing her over in the end because she does it so often because she's so trigger happy. Yeah. But yeah, probably the character that most deserved to die in RWBY, to be honest. This lady.
Yeah. Everyone was always like, yeah, like, Cinder's finally dead. She deserved it. And, like, yeah, she did in certain places. But this bitch. Whew. Man. That's true. Cinder's semblance is her rage against the upper class, making her a more relatable character.
Her rage against the machine. Do you want it?
The machine is society.
And then she
steals this sword from the huntsman.
Yeah, because she sees the huntsman as having, like, power and respect that she doesn't have. Because he's always in, like, hey, and everyone's like, whoa, what up, Chad?
Whoa, Chad. Yeah, and she's like, well, if I have this, then I can protect myself, like, if things get bad again. Obviously, then the huntsman shows up and he's like, no, you can't fucking use that like that. Sees that she's weak. Rolls the things over to her to see, like, what she's capable of, really. Yeah. Like, rolls his own weapons over, so she, like, picks one up and, like, tries to hit him. He's, like, actually a tin man. Yeah. Which is a really cool semblance. Like, yeah. I wouldn't have even thought about this as a semblance, as being able to, like, actually make your body, like, metal
in places.
Yeah, so that it can't be, like, penetrated. He can't get hurt. Yeah. But also a massive downside, which obviously we'll get into later.
Wait.
What?
I'm just thinking about his semblance. Yeah, rock solid. He was the talk of the town in Atlas for many years. That's why everyone likes him when he comes into the hotel.
God, sometimes I really wonder why I date you. Like, seriously wonder why I date you.
What, you think I was gonna make that joke? Oh, man. Whew, I could think of names and everything for him, his huntsman names, his reputation names.
I'm sure you can, but let's just get back onto the discussion at hand.
Right, so yeah, he does... Oh, I need to get these stupid nicknames out of my head. Oh boy. I'll let you... Yeah, you corral.
So... At this point, I believe he kind of asks Cinder, like, what she wants to do. Is that right? And she's like, I want to be like you. Like, I
want to be like you.
I want to be a huntress. And he's like, alright, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 10. Yeah. And he's like, alright. Well, that means you've got 7 years for the exam. So, I know, I am fucking marrying her. I know, right? Me getting the conversation back on track. What happened?
What can I say?
What happened?
The bisexual me thought about that semblance for too long and it threw off my train of thought. And then all the puns that came into my head, yeah.
Oh, boy. It brings a new meaning to balls of steel. Thanks, Sally, for saying what Kelly was too chicken to say.
Oh no, it was something else I had.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
But I like that one too.
So they had like a brief conversation about it. It's clear that he wants to try and train her, but as everyone is pointing out in the chat, it's kind of shit though, because he was allowing the abuse to continue.
Some of the stuff in the chat is so bad.
Anyway, so then we have this like cool montage of them like sparring. Is that this one?
Yeah.
Is that them with their wooden swords?
It's a gradual training montage, and we eventually get to Cinder being able to dual wield, which is her sort of more favoured style with swords. She likes to dual wield.
Yeah.
When did she learn to shoot with the bow? I mean, I know it's kind of tuned into her semblance a little bit, but
it is. But then it like makes me wonder what like her semblance really is, because it's like something to do with heat, something to do with glass. Like, is the glass just something that she has on her person? Is that like, part of the semblance? Like,
I think so. I think she can heat it to manipulate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for what I started.
No, you're fucking not.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. So then we've got like a continuing montage. Fucking hell.
It's so early in the stream and it's already in the gutter.
Do you want to take over? And I'll monitor the chat so that you don't get so distracted.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we have that clock and shot again. Oh my god, clock sounded like another word in my head. I'm really not doing good here. And big visual importance in the scene. And Cinder's like looking at him like, yeah, I kind of like how everybody likes him and like respects him, and I want that respect.
She hates things and controls them. And then continuing with the sort of training montage, he'll obviously go away on his missions and stuff and then come back. You're not permitted to look at the chat anymore.
I've been banned
You've
from
been
my
banned
own
from
chat.
the chat.
Okay, that's probably valid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is her obviously getting to the dual wielding stage of her fighting. You're pointing to it.
Maybe you can take over Curse Corner.
No. I like to like organically curse within the live stream. I don't need a segment for it. And then threatening with the collar.
Threatening the collar.
And I like how she's doing this, like, I mean, it looks like the hotel's
blatantly
empty, but it looks
it's
like
blatant.
it's in the main lobby. Like, she's not trying to hide this at all. Anyone could walk in.
Winter, we're only this far in because Kelly got distracted. Didn't you?
I got distracted, yeah. Alright, let's keep going onwards and upwards.
So this was actually a really cool transition, and I loved this scene when she walked in with her like asymmetrical like buns into the room. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. Everything is so funny and it's all innuendos in my head. I don't know what's wrong.
You're the one that said about how long you wanted this stream to go on for, and you're derailing it.
Continue. Please.
So.
Alright. Right, go.
So this scene, very good. Anyway, so obviously Cinder ages up quite a bit. I think by a couple of years. Do you want to go get some water?
I'm good.
I feel like a teacher. Like, when a kid's laughing so much in the class and you're like, do you want to leave my classroom and calm down, then come back in? Then we can have a conversation. That's how I feel right now.
Alright, teach me, Daddy. Continue! Jesus!
So, I think around about this point for Cinder, she's maybe aged by like 2 or 3 years. So she's either like sort of 12, 13, 14 years old. At this point, obviously a lot more refined in the way that she like sort of styles her hair, like looks after herself, obviously understands a little bit more about how she wants to look, how she wants to act, just from the influence of this huntsman, which is good. And then the huntsman obviously offering over one of his swords to her, because she has been doing so well with the training that that she is deserving of taking one of them, which I thought was actually quite nice. As much as he wasn't brilliant with Cinder and kind of let her down in a lot of ways by allowing her to stay there, like at least he had the sense.
Well, he basically like was trying to train her to leave, but then didn't think about all the damage that was going to be done, because he was like, it's fine, 7 years you're going to graduate and stuff and you'll be a huntsman. But he didn't think about what...
No, it wasn't even 7 years and then you'll graduate. It was 7 years and then you can leave and go to Atlas.
But he didn't consider, like, what years in that kind of environment was going to do to her brain.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
how desensitized she was
going
to become
how bad
to
it was going to go.
Yeah.
Like, if this is maximum 4 years that she's been there, that's a long time to go through daily abuse.
Yeah.
And probably it's, like, 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah,
like that shock collar's being used.
Super naive.
He was so naive about the situation. He had absolutely no idea what the fuck he was creating, and that was a monster. So then obviously we've got the girls running in, and they're like, "Oh, you need to like come. Cinder's got a weapon."
They're so buzzing about it. They're
well,
like,
actually,
yeah.
She's buzzing. This one with the like tight curls on the right. But the one on the left was actually scared when I rewatched it. She was like,
yikes.
She's got a weapon.
The other one's like, yeah.
And the other one's like, yay, we can get her in trouble.
Yeah.
More shock collar. Woo.
Yeah. Little psychopath.
So then, you didn't get... I'll go back here for just now. So then we got a really cool shot of the clock again.
Oh, yeah. Apologies, I missed the clock.
That's totally fine.
Probably a good thing, to be honest.
But I really like the way that it was like 22 or whatever, and then it like jumps to 5-2-ish, to show that obviously time has passed, like things have happened by the time that the huntsman actually does like walk in, sees the dead bodies of the 2 younger girls, and is like, what the fuck has happened? This is not good. Yeah, because I think this was Cinder's bedroom, was this room in the back. That was her bedroom.
I mean, maybe. It looks like a storage cupboard.
I know, but she had a bed in there.
Probably would be where they put her, yeah.
Yeah, she had a bed in there.
But they were probably just in torment in there and
Yeah, they probably had went in like, oh, let's go and fuck about with Cinder and like make her life a living hell like we always do. And Cinder was like, bitch, I have a knife. Thank you for complimenting my hair. Appreciate it. I cut the fringe myself.
Congrats.
And then we've got this like actually like really cool but really disturbing scene where Cinder is holding this woman up by her neck, like
some strength.
Some serious strength for like what is maximum a 14-year-old girl. And not only that, we see the strength of the fact that this woman is frantically pressing the button to try and get Cinder to stop. And she can't, because Cinder's got so used to the abuse that she no longer feels the pain of it. She just channels it into her fury.
Yeah. The other thing that I found not interesting, but like one thing that makes Cinder's situation with the Grim Arm even worse is like, obviously in this scene Cinder is so used to being shocked and the pain levels that she can resist it and it doesn't cripple her, which is a lot. But that means that she has an incredibly high pain tolerance. So when she is like screaming in pain, it's like next level pain.
Yeah.
Like it must be agony because she could tolerate this, which would have been incredibly painful.
Really painful. That's like right around her neck. I mean, that could have killed her, really, if you think about it. Like, because of how close it was to like her main arteries to her heart, like, and to her brain, like, that's really bad. That could have been a whole lot worse. And yeah, obviously, like, with that one hand that she was literally holding this woman up in the air by, snapped her neck and killed her in one go.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like,
turn this back now.
Yeah. Look, am I allowed back in?
You're allowed back in.
I've calmed down.
And then this, man, this was actually really heartbreaking. Don't you agree?
Well, yeah, because Cinder had basically, like, seen her freedom and her newfound strength as a way to basically liberate herself was to kill these people, because nobody had actually like shown her otherwise. In my head, Cinder just doesn't see other people as humans. Like, this huntsman that trained her is probably the closest that she did see to someone with like any kind of humanity, and even then it's not enough.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, because she kind of associated huntsmen doing good things and like killing Grimm, that Grimm are monsters, she was like, okay, I get it, you kill the monsters,
so I killed
so
my
I'm
own
gonna
monsters.
kill these monsters.
Yeah, which wasn't the right thing to do at all. But yeah,
but in her head, that's like the rational like conclusion, is like she doesn't see people at all because she's not been treated like a person.
She just sees people that are on her side and people that are against her.
Yeah.
There's no humans at all. But yeah, the Azula vibes that this gave off, man. And all she was looking for in that point was approval. Like, actually, like, really sad. Because that's all she wanted.
Because she thought and all, obviously, the, like, mental abuse and physical abuse that she suffered that has dehumanized her and meant she can't see others as human and has no humanity. Like, she thought this was the right thing to do. In her head, she was like, oh yeah, this is what he wanted me to do. He said, freedom. He kills monsters. I'm gonna kill these monsters. Like,
yeah, these are my monsters.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. And then when she was like, I don't need to run anymore, I was like, oh, my baby.
Yeah.
Baby. And then, obviously, his rebuttal to that was, you'll never stop running.
No, if this is how you deal with your problems, like... But he hadn't noticed that this was going to be the issue. He just assumed that his own teachings and stuff were fine and didn't actually acknowledge that, maybe her being in this environment was going to fuck her up in the head.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's right, though, like, with what he said. Like, she will never stop running. She never has stopped running, really. Like...
No, she's never settled anywhere.
She's never settled anywhere. She's never really settled with anyone, either.
No.
Because, as you said, she doesn't see other people as people. Just things for or against that she can use or dispose of. And that's it. And that's like a really awful way to... Anyway, there's like some hate in the chat about it.
About what?
About the backstory, but I liked it. Yeah, so then we've obviously got like this sort of Azula psychotic eyes. Do you want to say anything about this?
What, her shift here? Well, yeah, because she shifts from like, oh yeah, he's gonna be so proud of me because I've done exactly what he taught me to do.
Stand up for myself.
Yeah,
he's taught me to be strong.
Yeah, and then obviously sees his expression in the shift in hers to like, oh no, he doesn't like this. Like the one person that seemed to be kind of on my side.
Yeah.
He is looking at me like everybody else has looked at me now.
Yeah.
So there's that shift, and then she just kind of goes into like a survival mode here.
Yeah. Also, Andy, I've never forgotten that Azula was only 14 as well.
That's mad.
Yeah. The fact that they're like both around the same age. Obviously, we don't know that Cinder is 14 at this point, but like, I think she might be. I think that's the age gap that we're dealing with here.
Yeah. So. He thought he was teaching her self-control, but instead he just taught her how to fight and kill. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Why did you press approve on that comment?
Oh.
Why did you press approve on a comment that said, fuck Yang, but Blake is cool? Why would you do that, Senny? That's the one time that the filter system got it right.
Yeah.
It got it good. I love seeing that on a channel that's name is literally Xiaolong, like that we were gonna be like, yeah.
With literal like a Yang hat like right there.
Yeah.
And Yang's gauntlets. And
my yellow drink. I mean, that's just a drink, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway. So then we have a battle.
Oh yeah.
I can excuse child abuse, but I draw the line at murder. That's basically what happened here.
Yeah, like, I think that was... I kind of like that they never portrayed this guy as a total hero. Like, he was sort of morally a bit ambiguous. So he obviously liked the high life of being a huntsman and being respected, and obviously had enough money that he could keep going to this hotel. Because I doubt that he was... I bet you he was taking, like, the high-paid jobs, like...
Oh yeah, he was being like really picky about what he was taking so that he could get like the most. Leanne?
Yeah, because that place was expensive.
Yeah.
So to keep going there all the time, must have been fairly well off. And it was still good what he did with Cinder, but I think it was a bit of a vanity project in its own way. Like, oh yeah, I can save this girl. Kelly right in front of my yellow drink. The audacity to slander Yang to a Yang simp is true.
Yeah. So then obviously we've got this sort of really dirty fighting, actually. This is something that we kind of spoke about, I think, in the reaction.
Yeah.
Is that Cinder's a scrappy fighter. Like, obviously she's young here, but, like, she's really scrappy about the way that she fights. She's a dirty fighter. Like,
yeah.
That's what, like, makes her so unique with her fighting style, though, is that she never really lost that scrappiness, really.
No, she's a dirty fighter. She'll just do what she can to win.
Exactly. Like, throw a fucking javelin at Weiss just to take the attention elsewhere than her. But obviously at this point, the huntsman starts to activate his semblance, bringing up the sort of metal on his neck so that he can try and protect himself.
Not again.
Control thyself.
I'm controlling. I'm resisting.
So he's like bringing it up his neck so that he can try and protect himself. But then, as a scrappy fighter that she is, and with her ability to heat, she like grabs onto his neck and heats the metal so that it hurts him, so he can't use it.
So bad.
But like, look at that fucking smirk on her face. She knows that she's hurting him.
Yeah.
At this point, she just doesn't care. She just wants to win.
Yeah.
She just wants to be free.
Right. Next screen grab. Oh look, we're turning English as well.
So this at this point is when he loses his aura.
Yeah.
So
which again is telling that he's probably, like, as much as he's decent at martial arts and he has a pretty cool semblance, like, without being able to shield hits,
relies too heavily on his semblance, which is what Glinda was teaching the kids not to do. Yeah. Probably for this exact reason.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't have a huge, like, reserve of aura, and he's not trained it to be, like, particularly resilient in recovery because he had a semblance, but this is an opponent where his semblance backfires, so it's not actually that surprising that it only takes a few good hits for it to go.
Yeah, exactly. But also testament to how well he trained Cinder.
Yeah. That
she was able to knock it down so quickly. But there's also a possibility, because of the time that he came back, he might have already been on a mission.
True.
And already dropped, like, quite a lot of his aura.
It was pretty late at night.
It was midnight. Exactly. So I think he might have actually been out on a mission.
Yeah.
So his aura would have already been depleted.
Potentially, but I just also think that, yeah, it's probably an over-reliance on semblance too in this case.
Absolutely. Because, like, why wouldn't you rely on a semblance that keeps you so safe? Why would you think of a potential that one day you were going to be up against something that would literally, like, burn you? Mm-hmm. You know? Like, Grimm's not going to burn you. So. But then, obviously, in the sort of next hit that he gets on, he breaks Cinder's aura, and at that point he's like, well, the fight's over, and he like,
it was 100% a stabby move happening here.
So he like drops his weapons because he's like, right, well, her aura's gone, mine's gone, she's
clearly going to stop now.
She's clearly learned her lesson and she's gonna stop. So he like goes over to be like, everything's okay, don't worry about it, like. Yeah, and that's the difference. He wasn't fighting to kill. Cinder was.
As it turns out, yes, very much so.
Yeah. But then obviously, she's not done. I mean, we haven't really seen blood when people get stabbed before, have we?
Clover?
Well, apart from
blood
Clover.
spatter.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's not like they're totally against it. I guess it wasn't necessary here.
Yeah, but also I feel like this is more of a memory from Cinder rather than anything, and like, yeah, when it's a flashback, it's
also, yeah, it was
easy to
it
miss
was
details.
her memory because
Yeah.
it was like her dream basically.
It was her dream.
Sleeping.
Yeah, she woke up once this was over, so like, yeah. Oh yeah, Adam as well. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Adam. He got a big blood.
I forgot that he was bleeding.
Blood.
But yeah, so she killed that guy. That guy that actually like severely let her down by not being there for her the way that she needed, in the sense of getting her out of that fucking situation and just leaving her there.
Well, yeah, he thought he was doing his best thing, but it's on like an outsider perspective. You're like, you probably could have done more than what you did. Like, you trained her to fight, but you also just left her in a situation that was horrible.
Yeah. Also, that is true that they are taking a break for a reason. So, like, maybe they didn't have time to, like, render the blood in if it was intended, kind of thing. So, there's lots of reasons why it might not be in there. I mean, it's not a huge loss for me that there was no blood.
I mean, I don't think it was really, like, there's someone else with blood in this same episode.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it was, like, an actual creative choice to not have the blood in this particular scenario, because it was, like, sort of from Cinder's point of view for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, yeah, there was literally blood on Oscar in this same episode, so I don't think it's, like, just no blood.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think it is because this is actually, like, a dream sequence for Cinder. Rather than anything else, but I mean, we could theorize until the cows come home. It's not going to make it make sense. So, but then
there's just someone like caps typing just random things in the chat. It's just not even have to do with what we're talking about.
It's fine. But then obviously we've got this kind of sadder part of it where, like, despite the fact that Cinder's really screwed this guy over, killed him, basically, in his last moments, like, his only thought was to, like, reach out and, like, put a hand on her head, like...
Fuck. Oh, hello. OBS, I don't know if it's OBS or Wi-Fi, or if you were here for the start of the stream. I did explain that we're not able to use our PC, which we usually would use for all these. We're having to go back to the old setup, which is much less processing power. I think either OBS or the MacBook died. So I briefly stopped the feed, and yeah. Hopefully it don't die again, but that's what happened. So that seems to have been enough to get it back. But yeah.
You're back in, okay?
Yes, please don't spam the chat. I don't think that helped. Like, obviously use the chat, but don't send like 100 Fs, please, because that just made it worse, I think.
It did. So the switching off and back on again.
I just stopped the stream feed from OBS and then refreshed it. So, yeah, like, obviously if it's really bad, we'll probably have to stop, but it does seem to be at least alive.
That's good. Sorry if it's a little low quality. It'll just take a little bit to catch up.
Yeah, like I said, it's not dropping any frames. It might just be a little low quality.
Little low quality. But that's fine.
Yeah. Alright. You were spamming your opinion. It's not the same thing. And it was also nothing.
Woke isn't a trigger word. You're just spamming the chat, and that's not helpful.
Yeah.
So.
And also, it was literally nothing to do with the discussion either. So, yeah. We don't need the chat filled up with stuff that's nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyways.
We actually have a very low record of timing people out, to be fair. So
we do have an
you usually
extremely
have to piss it
low
off
record.
a little bit.
So
Yeah. Do you wanna
fuck around and find out. So then obviously we have Cinder like sort of coming to terms with the decision that she made. She is remorseful about it because even though she fucked him over and killed him,
Yeah.
in his last moments he was kind to her, which she was unaware of that people would do. So she looks at the moon, does a little cry.
This is the only time we've seen Cinder cry in the entire show.
Yeah,
isn't
we've seen
it?
her like screaming and in pain and sore and lost her voice and being proud and losing things.
But I don't know if she was
we've
even
never seen her
crying because she
cry.
killed him. I think she was maybe a relief
This
cry.
was a relief cry.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm
This is
actually
relief.
free. Yeah, rather than out of sympathy or guilt for what she did. Like, I don't think she even, she regretted maybe having to do it, but I
Yeah.
don't think she regretted doing it.
What I got from this is that she felt like if you trap an animal in a corner, the animal's gonna lash out. And that's kind of what happened with her here, is that she lashed out. And unfortunately people got hurt, people died in the process of it.
But what about her scar? We can now talk about her scar.
Oh shit, yeah, so can I like enhance
No,
this
it's
image?
fine, you can see it. You can see it.
I am enhancing the
What if
image.
you break the stream? Also, you remember it's on the lower layer, so what?
That's
what are
fine.
you
It's
doing?
only the
Only the
scar,
scar
that,
that
we're looking at.
matters.
Yeah. So obviously this is why she always wears a choker.
Yeah.
Everyone was too preoccupied asking about why her wrists are always covered that we never thought about her neck.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very sad.
Back to small baby.
Poor baby. And then, as if the hell can't get any worse, she was looking at that moon full of, like, remorse and hope and was like, this is me, I'm free now, and then wakes up back in Salem's Whale.
Back in Salem's Whale. You know, it's funny how, like, she definitely seemed like she kind of wanted to go.
She wanted to go.
Like, I think maybe she would have pieced out if she'd had the option.
If she was awake,
Yeah.
she would have been like, we're not going back to Salem.
Yes, Salem's gonna kill me.
Salem will fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Salem will hurt me, and I don't want to be hurt again. So,
Yeah. And then we have Emerald, who comes in to obviously check on Cinder, who's now awake, and actually touches her gross grim arm that has never been so uncovered
visible. Yeah.
in the show, and it's gross. But Emerald just literally doesn't hesitate to hold that gross looking arm, and you know what? Gotta admire that. Gotta
Yeah,
admire
because
that.
Cinder doesn't even have her cape on here.
No.
There's nothing to cover how bad the arm is.
Yeah. So, respect for Emerald for that, because she didn't even hesitate to touch that arm.
But why would she? She, like, loves and respects Cinder, so why would she even think twice about
it's
it?
gross.
Maybe it's gross for you.
Okay. You tell me that if I had a grim arm, you'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. And then Chad comes a waltzing in. I think Emerald could be romantically in love with Cinder. I don't know if she even realizes that that she is, but
Yeah, I don't know if I see it as like motherly or like a weird motherly figure that she sees in Cinder, or if it is romantic.
yeah, it's hard to tell because we've never really heard her talk about her feelings for Cinder.
It's
We've only
obviously
seen
very
some
strong.
very strong, like really powerful
Yeah.
feelings that Emerald has for Cinder. It's just extremely unclear if it's romantic or familial. We
Yeah.
don't know.
But Mercury is like once again reminding Emerald, as he did previously, Cinder doesn't give two shits about you. What are you doing?
Yeah,
But I really don't think this was out of concern for
Emerald.
Emerald. I think it was very much like I'm gonna tell you this again.
Yeah.
But I don't actually really care.
Like, I'm reminding you now that we're not fighting each other.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. But, like, So this was actually like a really sad moment for Cinder again. Because when she woke up, like, obviously she was like a little bit angry at Emerald that she'd brought her back, but there was like such dismay in her voice when she did wake up that she was like, you brought me back here?
Yeah.
Like this?
And then Mercury has got a big boy promotion. So he's like, I don't work for you anymore. I work for Salem. We got some things we're gonna do. It's gonna be good.
Like, he thinks that's a good fucking idea.
Yeah. So Mercury is living the high life of a villain, and he don't need Cinder anymore.
Mercury didn't give his 2-week notice. Mercury handed in his notice with immediate effect.
Yeah, he did.
He was over it. He was like, I don't work for you anymore. I'm out of here, man.
I wonder, like, what Salem actually said to him. She was like, here, would you like more Hot Topic clothes, my boy? more branded Hot Topic clothes for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, baby. I got you.
Yeah.
So then we've got, obviously, a sad-looking Emerald. And a pretty sad-looking Cinder, actually. If you really look at her face there, she's not happy with the fact that he's like, nah, fuck you. I work on my own now. Yeah,
there actually seems to be a genuine dismay at this.
Yeah.
I think she never thought that, like, because Emerald is so ridiculously loyal.
Yeah.
Emerald, not so much Mercury, but maybe she just never thought that, like, her little Merc and M would, like, fuck off.
Yeah. But that's, like, a continuous loss of power.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Like, she was unable to get Penny. That's a loss. That's a hard thing for her to get over anyway. Emerald brought her back to Salem. Not what she wanted. That feels like a betrayal. And then Mercury's like, nah, I don't work for you anymore. I work for Salem, so see you later. And that's, like, a huge loss for her. Like, she took them out of bad circumstances, so she probably thought that they would be loyal forever, and that's just not what happened, and it's actually quite sad. But then Cinder was like, leave,
get out,
and Chad was like, actually you're wanted on the bridge, so yeah, you better show up. So Emerald leaves, like, all sad boy hours.
Yeah.
And then we get this, like, super cool shot. Please go to the next image.
Yeah.
Where Cinder's left sitting on this, like, makeshift bed bone thing. Must be really uncomfortable. And the darkness creeps in and consumes her.
Well, it's very reminiscent to the opening shot of this volume, which is her scrubbing the floors, and she's kind of defaulted back to that now. Like, she's totally isolated again and alone.
Yeah, everything that she's worked so hard to gain is slowly, step by step, being stripped away from her. And, like, for such a win that she had in Volume 3, with the way that she took down Beacon, like, broke all of the communication across Remnant, like, that was really, like, the highlight.
She was living her best life.
Living her best life. And then, like, every step of the way since then, something has got worse and worse and worse, and things have been taken away from her every step. It's hard. It's a hard loss.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
And then speaking of very, very sad.
Very, very sad. A very beat up boy.
Definitely the most beat up character we've seen in RWBY in terms of just, like, injuries. Like, other than, I guess, Yang's arm getting chopped off, but, like, actual, like, just physical damage.
Yeah.
For
like,
boys
he's
roughed up.
On the face, on the chest, and then he's got, like, such a bad black eye. Like, that's gonna be fucking killing him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's got, like, a bruise on his cheek. He's, like, all scraped up on his chin and stuff. It's a bad time for Oscar. But then in this screenshot that I got, the reason why I got this was when, like, him and Ozpin actually, like, connected on the same wavelength, which I think is, like, a really interesting turning point.
Yeah.
Because it kind of shows that the process of osmosis.
Oh yes, osmosis
really does pick similar people to sort of go for him, and it's just how they deal with it. So, like, despite the fact that Oscar's 13,
No, he's like 15, I think. He was
15?
14 when he was in the show to begin with, but
Right.
I think about a year's probably passed.
Right.
So he's probably on the cusp if he's not 15.
Yeah, so, like, he's young compared to how old Ozpin was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the fact that he's so young but is still on the same wavelength as what was quite an older guy. Pretty impressive.
Well, it's an old soul, bro.
It's an old
But
soul.
he also pointed out that apparently, like, Hazel's been going easy on him because he's
a child.
He's baby.
Yeah.
And if it was actually Ozpin, like, presenting as Ozpin, he would be going much harder.
Which does happen.
Yeah. Also, the props to Oscar for, like, holding out and, like, not.
Considering he does not have an aura,
Yeah.
he's doing really fucking well.
Yeah.
Like, these will hurt.
Yeah, I
badly.
want to see everybody's reactions to poor little Oscar. I feel like they'll feel so bad.
Oh man, yeah.
When you see the state that he's in. Especially, the ones that actually lost him.
Yeah.
They'll feel real bad.
I feel like Yang's reaction might be the worst because, like, she had to bring Ruby up. Like, she basically defaulted as her mother, bringing Ruby up. So when she sees Oscar again, I feel like this is going to be, like, really hard for Yang to see because he's just baby.
Yeah.
He's young. Like, he was in Yang's care. I feel like she'll actually be, like, really beat up about this.
Well, yeah, it's like a failure.
Yeah. So then, at this point, Hazel's come back in. This is when, it's Oscar that's fronting. I think.
What?
This is when Oscar's fronting, not Ozpin.
No, and then it switches to Ozpin.
It switches to Ozpin. Hazel, like, fucking loses it. And he's like, you're a fucking coward, basically, because you're allowing this child to take all of these hits and they're for you.
Yeah, for you, man.
They're for you,
come
man.
out here.
Yeah.
Meet me outside.
And he, like, loses his temper, like, really loses his shit.
Yeah, well, because he goes little Ozpin mode and he's like, that's it, that's the bastard.
That's the bastard I was looking for.
Okay.
And then starts ragdolling Oscar.
Yeah.
Poor baby. I know, yeah, it's true. At least John can, like, heal his wounds.
Yeah, and they don't look like they're going to scar too bad.
No, it's just bad bruises.
So then Hazel snaps this little bit of bone, which I'm assuming he was about to use as an implement of stabbing.
Yeah, but Oscar was fronting at this point, I believe, because he was trying to, like, get Hazel to see that, like, actually Salem, like, can kind of be defeated. Like, maybe she can't be killed, but she can be defeated. Like, what is she actually going to do with all of you guys when she's successful? Do you really think she's going to keep you guys around? Like, no, that's not obviously going to happen. Give me.
No. Okay.
You are too slow off the draw. And Hazel has this kind of moment of contemplation over what was said, where he's like, it's got in. He planted the seed.
Yeah.
That's like wee bastard.
So we'll see what becomes of that.
Yeah, but then obviously timing couldn't be worse, or it couldn't be better for Salem.
Wait. No, there's
go
one
back.
more thing here that obviously Oscar and Ozpin have the same thought of, like, we're on the inside. Like, this in theory would have been very hard to get into.
Yeah.
If we'd have to actually infiltrate it, but we're already here. So, like, maybe we can do some damage in here. Which obviously, could be just planting seeds of doubt. Could actually be quite effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, and obviously, just as someone had pointed out in the chat there, like, Salem's real power comes from collecting all of the relics, so, like, if you stop her from collecting all of the relics,
but we don't know what she was
helpful.
going to do when she got them, because he got cut off.
Exactly.
Like, we were literally about to get told whatever it was, and then it was like, oh, nope.
And then it was your timing could be better.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's like, bro, you could have came in, like, 2 seconds later.
Yeah. And then she's on her throne with her new
her
favourite.
Dog.
The Hound really gets pride of place. Like, everybody else is not allowed to sit beside the throne.
Well, no, because they are now getting instructions from Salem, so they're all doing a big kneel. So yeah, we've got obviously, like, Oscar's just off to the side here that's not in this shot with Hazel,
Yeah.
Terry and Cinder, Mercury. And then
yeah.
pans round so that you can see Neo and Emerald,
Wait,
who
do we
are...
see Neo? Have you
No,
got a grab?
I didn't get
You
a grab
didn't
of it.
grab
I think I do it in this one. I do.
Okay.
So, but Neo and Emerald are both looking at Cinder, not Salem. Like, their heads aren't bowed like everyone else. They're not as loyal.
Because they're not loyal to... They're not into this whale cult malarkey.
No.
They don't want to be in the whale cult.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Neo is not also loyal to Cinder like Emerald is, but she's also, like, not on board with the cult.
No. And I think, like, the more that Neo's spending time with Cinder, the more she's seeing, like, just... how
Cinder,
wild
Cinder's
Salem
like treating
is.
her bad, and then she's like, oh wow, Cinder's getting treated real bad here. Maybe that's why she's such a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, then Tyrion gets his little head pats.
Well,
'cause he did a good job.
Well, yeah, because he's got the scroll, and we know Wat stole Ironwood's scroll, so he was able to message Tyrion.
Yeah,
and
to
be
say
like,
that it had been successful.
Penny's out the sky, bro.
Yeah, go and get her kind
Yeah.
of thing. And
Yeah.
Emerald and Neo again in the background are like, bro. But we've also got Cinder like looking over towards Tyrion, and she's mad as hell because if she knew that that's what was, is he dreaming?
He did a big dream, girl.
Sad boy. Oh.
The dream bark.
But yeah, so Cinder's obviously like seething at this point because if she had any idea that this is what Watts was doing, then maybe the three of them could have stuck around. They would have got Penny, and then she would have got the praise as well as Watts would have.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't happen. And then Salem punishes Cinder.
Oh yeah, it's a very yikes punishment here. As we were
Terrible
saying
yikes.
earlier, she probably has a very high pain tolerance, so this must hurt like fat.
This must hurt like
And
fuck.
then as soon as the scene happened, I was like, oh, shot collar, like, it's very reminiscent, because it's like almost pressing a button here. And then of course it cuts to the shock collar.
It cuts to Emerald first, where she's like, "Oh my fucking
oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and then onto the shock collar.
Yeah, so just like a little nice
flashback.
parallel to that. Oops. Whoopsies. Alright. So many screen grabs.
We're almost done.
And then she looks like
She's exhausted.
pathetic here.
Like exhausted. That must hurt so much. Like you said, like she's obviously got a really high pain tolerance for this kind of stuff, but when it comes to that, like the pain.
Yeah.
But then Salem's like, but it's okay, I was unfair to you because you deserve more. Sorry for hurting you. Like, textbook manipulation.
Oh yeah. She
That's
doesn't care. She
so
don't care
bad.
even a little bit. But that's how she's got all these people. She's manipulated them. She's
Exactly, to make them think that they need Salem.
yeah,
for
or
anything.
that Salem betters like their existence somehow.
Exactly, because she can give them whatever.
And the only people that really see through that are literally Neo and Emerald, who are just like, this is shit.
Yeah. And yeah, I do remember the pain scream that Cinder did at the end of Volume 7.
Yeah.
So, like, this must fucking hurt her so bad.
Yeah.
Like, on a whole other level than the shot caller did. So, big sad. But then, so this was interesting. This was something that you pointed out. The dog goes over and sniffs Neo and Emerald, bypasses Mercury, and then goes up and sniffs Cinder. Which is, like, hilarious, because Neo's like, get your fucking dog!
Yeah.
But it was only Neo, Emerald, and Cinder that it went up and sniffed, and you pointed out that it's maybe actually, like, sniffing out the disloyalty that they have.
because we know that the hound is intelligent enough. I think there's definitely a human thing going on there. I just don't know if it's fucking summer. But
Yeah.
there's definitely something human about it, because it was able to like quite well predict the biker boys fighting plans and perfectly predict what they were going to do and how they were going to behave and react to what it did.
Yeah.
So obviously it understands human behavior a little bit. So it is probably quite likely that it's like, yeah, these people, they're not looking so whale culty here.
Yeah.
And just give them a big sniff. It was also
Nice.
obviously a little intimidation, but
Yeah.
I do love that Neo's just like, ugh. That was the best part. She wasn't really scared, she was just like,
Ew,
gross.
go away. Also, I'm really loving that everyone in the chat got my Vine reference. Thanks, guys.
That's fine.
So then obviously Oscar like lashes out and he's like, guys, no, like, You don't have to blindly follow this bitch. Like,
yeah,
leave this alone. And then Hazel, like, slams him down. But if you, like, really look at his face here, he's remorseful about it.
Yeah.
He's considering what he said.
But will he do anything?
That is the question. It smells like bitch in here.
Yeah.
Someone also pointed out that he might be, like, sniffing Cinder, Neo, and Emerald because they were in proximity to Penny.
And Penny reeks.
Penny reeks of metal.
Reeks.
Heavy metal.
I hate us just when you say
yeah, and then obviously Salem's like, bitch, you too late.
Yeah.
You are too late.
Yeah.
So.
You know what's the worst? I would probably pet the hound because I like
I'd
dogs
pet
too
the
much.
hound.
I'm like,
I fucking
oh,
love
dogs.
I would be like, oh, cute dog, and it would bite my hand off, and I would be like, all right, so can I have a hand, please?
No, preferably not a grim one.
Yeah. And then we cut to the Aesops. Obviously they're.
This looks 100% though like the sun is now rising again.
It is
it's
the sun rising.
The dawn of the final day.
Yeah. I was talking
Literally the final day, since we know it's 48 hours. So this is the dawn of the final day of this volume. Because there's only 48 hours in this volume.
Oh shit.
And that day's passed, so that's a yikes.
Fucking shit.
And these kids have still not slept. Only
So-
Nora's really slept. Well,
And
actually,
Jean.
they all kind of power nap, maybe.
There's a possibility that Jean, Yang, and Ren got like maybe like an hour.
A short rest.
A short
They got
rest.
some of their spells back, but not all of them.
Not all of them. Yeah. So yeah, like we've obviously got Winter here kind of pushing her weight a bit, like showing rank of saying like, actually,
Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
the boss here, so fucking stop.
Well, it's because they insulted Penny. Like, she and Penny had actually a really interesting bond last volume, and they had some deep chats.
Yeah.
So she doesn't see Penny as like a weapon in a tin can. So when they're talking about her, like she's not even human, she's like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, like Penny actually understands emotions a lot more than some of these guys in this airship do. So.
Oh, tea, scalding.
Scalding hot.
Yeah.
And then Marrow,
sweet boy.
sweet angel boy, please leave the Aesops. Just walk away. He's like, hey, I'm getting something over the radio, like, maybe you should come take a listen. Very reminiscent of Atlantis.
Yeah, although in my head I was just thinking that he's
Commander.
like, oh, something's coming through there, and it's just like, if anybody can hear me, can one of you call Yang? This is the number.
Can someone call Yang, please? My name's Blake Belladonna, and I just really need to get in contact with Yang Jalong. So obviously they like play this broadcast out loud. The reason I got this particular screenshot though is that Winter looks at Marrow.
Yeah.
And they both are like
Descent.
and everyone, well, Elm in the background I think is a bit like, oh shit, this doesn't sound good. But like effectively the three in the back here are like,
Bro.
great, we can arrest them.
Harriet's thighs, though. This is a good
Seriously.
shot for Harriet's thighs.
Also, like, her, like, outfit design
It just compliments.
just really compliments.
Those thighs could crush watermelons, man.
Bro,
Crush 'em.
I'm getting, like, way too gay about this.
Okay.
Just take it away. So then they land the ship. I really love the range of emotions that are going on here because Yang's went straight to pissed off anger.
Yeah.
Ren is like, oh fuck, I better like stand up and make sure that I'm like standing properly for the Aesops because I'm like a good boy. And John's like, oh Ren, please don't defect on the wrong side.
Yeah, I love that they're all also on the same bike, obviously, because the other one got completely fucked. So.
Yeah, which means that Yang will have to probably like drive it slower.
Yeah.
As well, just because of the compensation of the extra weight.
Yeah.
So then they like jump down and Harriet gives like Winter like the quickest of glances and then just barrels straight in and is like, where the fuck is Penny?
Yeah,
You clearly know where she is.
Yeah.
Where is she? It's like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Jean's pretty pissed off about this because he's like, did you not hear our fucking broadcast? Like, there are bigger fish to fry right now, and they don't know about the Penny situation. They don't know that she's
No, they'll be like,
not
What are you
activated.
talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
We're talking about a huge army of Grimm.
Yeah.
What? Are you
Like,
talking about
all
Penny
he'll be
for?
thinking about
Oh.
with regards to Penny is because she's the Winter Maiden, they want to know where she is so
Yeah,
that they
he
can
won't
take her
think
back.
that she's like crash landed. or
Yeah,
anything like
he
that.
won't even think that there's anything wrong with Penny.
Oh.
They have no idea what's happened.
They cue one of the most anxiety-inducing, but one of the coolest sequences in RWBY.
Oh man.
I mean,
Actually so
for
cool.
me, this is the highlight of the episode for me, but that's because I'm not like a huge Cinder stan, but this fucking sequence was cool.
I mean, I just thought this whole episode was fucking dynamite.
You're allowed to think that. You are allowed.
Dynamite, man.
Oh, okay.
Also, thanks, Dora.
Thanks, Dora. Glad you're getting excited for the final scene.
Something that I really love about the way that this is lit, the rest of this sequence, the lighting that they've done
is very, very frightening.
very, very beautiful. Okay. The way that it's put together, I really like it. So we've obviously got this sort of crater that was Mantle that we'd seen before.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of different reactions to what is essentially an earthquake as much as they know about it.
Yeah, it's just a very sustained earthquake and very violent.
Yeah, that stops and they're all like, oh, okay, we're good. And then it starts immediately again.
Man, Winter's face here.
The terror in her face. Obviously,
I mean,
Harriet's pretty scared too, but like
there's more of a like sadness though in Winter's and like an actual distress. Whereas Harriet's like, oh, that's pretty fucked. Whereas Winter's like, oh no, my sister.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I wonder
my family.
if she knows.
Yeah.
That Weiss is up there. Obviously, she knows that her mum and brother and her dad are up there, and as much as she's not like great
got
times
there, she can ask. I
Where
just
are
realised
they?
something, but we can talk about it after the screen grabs. I just realised that one of my theories could now come true. But we'll get to it.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that there was something you wanted to bring up about Emerald. Did you bring it up?
Christ knows.
God knows. That's why I wanted you to tell me so I could remind you.
Can't remember.
And then I just basically got screenshots of like everyone's reactions to this because
Did you get a shot of it doing it?
No.
No! I wanted the upwards river. It literally emptied the river.
It
like,
did
it just
empty
goes
the river. It happened so quick, but
it's
anyway.
like the worst version of the fast tubing mail system from the earlier episodes.
That's true.
It's
But
like
I did
hell
get
version
this.
of that.
And again, the lighting and the detail of Mantle down below.
Yeah, this was such a cool sequence. So these guys came in real handy. As Grim Goopus poured. This was obviously Salem's plan.
Yeah.
Jump to the next one.
A geezer.
A gaze. So we cut to everybody like, oh, what the fuck?
And also, as you pointed out earlier, like, Weiss has not left Nora's side.
She's an angel. Verified.
Such a good fucking friend.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves a friend like Weiss, like current Weiss.
Yeah, so Weiss is like, I mean, maybe they're taking watch. There's a potential that like they rotate who's sitting with Nora.
But we've only seen
so
Weiss's.
far we've only seen Weiss, and Weiss
Yeah.
also was holding her hand last episode, so we stand an Ice Queen always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we jump to Blake, May, and RWBY. But, like, this makes me really sad because, like, obviously May and RWBY look really shocked, and so does Blake, but Blake, I feel like,
hand
looks
on the
more, like,
hearts.
dismayed, yeah, like, this is hurting her more, like, on a personal level because she doesn't know where Yang is. She doesn't know where the group is, and
also,
her thoughts are there.
The Grim Goop came from below, so she's probably like, oh my god, what has happened in Mantle? Like, they probably all are thinking that, like, this has come from below, this was down here.
So
like,
where is everybody?
Yeah, and also they can't
safety?
get in contact with them either to even ask.
Yeah.
So it must be a hell of a yikes, this.
Yeah.
But suddenly, the threat is now on Atlas rather than Mantle, and Ironwood looks dismayed.
Yeah.
He looks like, oh fuck. Did you not get them pulling down the shield?
Yeah, I did. It's after this.
Cool.
But we sort of had this discussion as well, like after we'd seen it, about how with Ironwood's reaction, I sort of wonder if in this moment he realised that his priorities were in the wrong place. He was too busy trying to arrest, you know, the gang and getting Penny and stuff, and actually he should have been paying more attention to what the fuck Salem was doing.
Yeah, because that was literally under his nose. Like, that was out in the tundra. If they'd had anyone, like, actually paying attention to that, they might have noticed it quicker. I don't know how much they would have been able to do about it, but, like, they were totally caught by surprise. And I do love that, like, they kept this such a good secret. None of us fucking thought that river was going to shoot upwards. We were just like, oh, Mistral's going to be fucked.
Yeah, it's going to flood the crater and then we're fucked. I didn't think it was going to fucking...
You'd assume that the threats to Atlas were going to come from above. Like, so it was really surprising and cool when it did it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the shield falling here. We've already got 2 on the back here that have fallen over. So this is the shield actually, like, breaking apart.
It was
got here.
So
Can I please
cool.
have some of that?
Sure.
I spoke too much.
It's hard, isn't it, being the talky one? It's because I got banned from talking for part of this.
It's too warm.
Okay, see, take my drink and then you insult it. Let me have big, wide, worried boy eyes, because they thought they were, like, the ones in danger out on the ground.
Now it's the ones up top that are in danger.
Yeah. As they watch,
they're unable to do anything either.
They're
like,
far away. I mean, they do have an airship, so if
but that's only if the Aesops play game.
Yeah, and they're not like, oh, we have to still go get Penny.
Yeah. Which
I think is going to be a big cause for argument, actually.
Absolutely, because it's kind of down to Winter.
Yeah, Winter is still the highest ranking person in that group.
Yeah.
So she decides, like, actually, we're going to go against the Ironwood's orders here. Like, we are the Aesops for Atlas. Atlas is under attack. We need to go back to Atlas.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think getting Penny and getting, like, the vault will really help right now. Like, it will take too long.
Yeah, but then obviously that leaves an opportunity for the bad guys to go and get Penny.
True.
So I feel like it could be like a 50-50, like the guys on the ground will get on the airship and then a couple of the Aesops will take that like one bike and go and try and find Penny from the ground. Yeah. Oh man.
So yeah, they look pretty yikes.
All of them look yikes. Even tall boy here, Vine. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, can I name all of these Grimm as they go upward?
Yeah, he's watching them all go up, and he's like, oh yeah, there's Roger and Henry, and then we've got like a really sad looking RWBY.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for RWBY in this point. This was such a split second as well.
Yeah.
For RWBY, but
well, it probably feels in its way like
hopeless,
really hopeless, and she's probably like, oh my god, I hope that help is coming, but we have no idea if help is coming,
and
it
we
might
don't
be
know
too
how
late.
Quick
it might be
come.
Too late. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I have my theories, but I don't know how much of it will be like would actually make a difference.
Yeah.
You want to bump down?
Let's bump down.
And there she is, living the high life
with her it's time bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got this like cool wide shot of like all of the villains as it like pulls right the way out to the front of the whale.
Big boy Richard. Yeah.
There were so many like shots that they did to like transition through that were fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Whew! Really good. Really well put together.
And then look how big Richard is.
So big. Like, Richard is like, this makes Atlas look really fucking small.
Yeah, he's so big.
Like, really big.
He must have, like, his own swimming pool and stuff.
He's Grimm.
It's a Grimm swimming pool. it's his Grimm goop, but it's still a swimming pool. It's just for Salem, for her, like, mud massages and stuff.
Oh, good lord. So then, obviously, he lands. He lets out all of this Grimm goop.
He does a
does a big bleh.
Did you get some good shots of the lads in the bleh? Can you enhance that?
Yes.
Bleh?
I will actually
drag it up to the top.
Bring this right up to the top if I can.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a hot minute.
I want to enhance. God, so many screen grabs. Enhance the gloop. Gloop.
So
look at all that gloop.
We've got
my God.
A dragon.
Yeah.
I think this is like a Beowulf here, like that like warthog thing.
Spinny
an
guys.
elephant, something in the back here that kind of looks like a Stegosaurus.
No, it looks like the Manticore ones from Volume 6.
Oh, yeah. And then we have...
everybody's absolute favourite PogChamper's Grim. Zoom in.
I am trying.
Enhance him, please. He needs to be in. I love how it keeps coming back to me getting more excited as it gets closer.
There he be.
Oh yeah, keep him beside me.
Alright, there you go.
Look at him.
Couple picture.
Yeah, couple Facebook joint profile, me and the apathy.
Yeah.
Like, hey honey.
So, we have Un Apathy.
Yeah, my favourite Grim.
Actually, yeah, one of my favourite Grim too.
And he's not quick, but his ability is very cool, and he could cause some interesting fuckery. I think what the apathy's gonna do, he'll be like, everyone will be really quick, all the other Grim, and he's just gonna lurk in places that we're not gonna expect. Like,
Wow.
and the ones that have obviously seen the apathy before, it might be our Manor squad, like Weiss and Blake and Ruby, and they run into it and they're like, oh fuck, not one of these bastards again.
Well, yeah,
because they're so creepy with their like big long arms.
Really, really creepy. But I don't actually think that a lot of people know what an apathy Grim is, because they kind of hide out a little bit.
They're sort of in rural bits. I feel like they're kind of rare, and they do sort of just cluster together.
Yeah.
And they can't move quick either.
Exactly. So we've got our apathy boy. We've got
Manticore. That is a
yeah,
Manticore.
like your sort of Manticore. Yeah, are you sure that it's not like a Stegosaurus thing?
No,
in
it
the
looks
background?
like a Manticore. It's the one that Yang like grabbed and threw on the train and the start.
Oh yeah.
It's that one.
And then a dragon boy.
A little baby dragon.
Hang on while I just accept these.
Yeah. Yeah, but Blake did almost die to the apathy, which
She
makes
did.
a bit of a yikes. Do you want to de-hance the Grim? We got some, or are we having a look at all?
Just analysing. Yeah, you've got your spinny warthog
You've got
boy.
your spinny boy.
And
It's
like
a
an
Boratus.
elephant boy. And then I think this is like an Ursa or something down here.
Just lots of guys.
Yeah, I'll just put Cinder back there.
Put Cinder back.
So yeah.
Whew.
Lots to unpack, boys.
So this confirms that the last episode before the mid-season break is gonna have one heck of a cliffhanger.
One hell of a cliffhanger.
And I hope it's a fairly long episode. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they give us a mid-season teaser in January too for the second half of the volume that's like really cryptic.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm opening the screenshots.
Oh, okay. You probably killed the screen grabs other than the top one here.
What do you mean?
No, it's fine. It's just maybe
right.
for saving like
I get you.
yeah, just give OBS like a fucking chance here to get us through to the end. So yeah, what a fucking good episode. I have a few theories actually. So my first random theory is about Whitley actually.
Yes, we did
So,
have a bit of a chat about this.
I think that Whitley, because Nora's clearly in no fit condition to fight, so I think that Whitley is going to be the one to volunteer to be like, look, you guys go and do your shit. I will like watch, like me and Mama, we will watch after Nora, because guaranteed with a manor like the Schnee Manor, there's a fucking panic room that will be
There
well
has to be a safe
enforced.
room.
There will definitely be something like that. So yeah, I can see him offering to do that.
Yeah, me too. And
'Cause
I
it's
actually
not-
think that
it makes
this is like a
sense.
good way for him to like kind of be redeemable, if you will. Like,
He's too young to not
Without-
be redeemable.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said like redeemable is he's not actually done like extremely bad shit. He's just been not a great brother.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like he has loads to be redeemed for.
Yeah.
He's just a bit shit. But some kids are just a bit shit when they're young. Based on their circumstances.
But I do think that that's what he'll do, because he's not a fighter. He's not. So I think that is probably what he'll do, is he's like, because they obviously will want to go and help, but they can't leave Nora defenseless. So they'll be like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And he'll be like, it's fine. Like, I will look after her.
Just leave her here.
We'll put
be
her in the
okay.
panic room. Like, its walls are super thick. Like, they're not going to get in here until the last thing that they do.
She's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
if things go south, we'll be in the panic room. Like, how are they gonna find us there? You know.
Yeah.
So
I think that would
agree
make
with
sense.
you. I think that would make sense. I think it would be a really good chance for Whitley to like really showcase that he's not just an arsehole.
Well,
So-
he's not his dad. He's not
not
his
his
father.
dad.
Yeah. Other theory. What was my other theory? Did you have another? You had another theory, did you not?
Did I? About what?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. There was something.
Good fucking luck.
There was something else, bro. There was something else.
About Emerald?
No, it was. Why'd you keep thinking it was about Emerald?
Because you brought up about
Did
Emerald
I?
and then you were like, we need to save this for the stream, and then you've forgotten it. And that's why I asked you to tell me it.
Yeah, but that's what I think is gonna happen with Whitley.
Was it maybe about like Neo or Cinder or
No,
yeah?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Oh, well.
Oh wait, Aesop's. There's an Aesop's thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So remember we I think out with stream we had a little fun conversation, like saying, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Marrow commented on something that was like a dead giveaway?
Yeah.
And now Marrow and Yang are in the same space, so it could very much happen where he just makes a passing comment, because he already did kind of comment that Blake and Yang are too often
Really
together,
close.
and it's
Yeah.
not good. I just would love if he made a comment like, oh, you finally split up from your girlfriend then, and everybody just looks like at each other like
Yeah.
the
Or
unspoken.
he just like goes up to her and he's like, oh, where's your girlfriend? Like, you can't go anywhere without her. And Yang's just like, Scarlet.
Yeah, and John's like, oh.
And Sean's in the background like,
And Winter's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
yeah. And Ren's like, what?
Yeah, right.
Big question mark. Why is this important?
I think that'd be funny. But now they're in the same scene, so yeah, it would actually be that weird. Yeah, that's literally the exact emojis.
Woo! I also think that Oscar is going to seriously try and like sabotage it from the inside out. If
Yeah.
he can bury the seed of doubt in Emerald's mind,
Yeah.
then Emerald can like pass that on to Cinder and to Neo and then be like, we should get the fuck out of here.
You know, Emerald's semblance could be, and Neo's could be super useful against Salem if they do decide to try and fuck her over.
Absolutely.
Because she can't see through illusions. She's not that powerful. Like, she's powerful with magic, but I don't think she can just, like, see through illusions.
No.
So I wonder if they could do something to her like that could cause her to do something stupid
Yeah.
that might fuck herself over.
Oscar is the imposter. He in here trying to sabotage the villains. I want him to try.
Wait.
What?
Random Salem theory to beat Salem.
Okay.
What if you lock Salem in one of the vaults where the relics are? They're like pocket dimensions. Would she not just get stuck? She's immortal, but she would be stuck.
Bitch.
It just came into my head. I was like, that would screw her over, because they are literally like little pocket dimensions behind the doors, and they can only be opened by a maiden. So if they somehow manage to lure her in there, even if it's like something like that by illusions, you could close the door and she'd be stuck there forever. What have I just shattered?
The tea
Yeah.
is scalding.
Yeah, I just thought if she's immortal, like, I mean, the difficulty would be getting her in there, but like if you planned your tactics right and you maybe made it that she was really trying to get the relic, like, or Cinder does a bit of a betrayal. I don't know. It's not impossible, but it's one of the main ways I can think of that would be like, oh, that would actually stop Salem, because she would just be there forever, immortal, and never be released.
Very interesting.
So yeah,
Very interesting.
maybe this will be another clip I get to cut back on. Like, ooh, it called it.
Yeah. Also, I really loved the new song. The lyrics are real fucking dark, and that makes me sad. But
I don't know, because it's a specific kind of magic. Like, I don't think she can replicate it. Otherwise, why would she have Cinder go and collect the maiden powers? If it was something that she could just copy and do herself, there would be no need for her to get other people to be vessels for the power.
Actually, uncomfortable. So, like, Cinder just directly disobeyed Salem.
Yeah.
To go after Penny, and obviously, you know, Salem like punished her for it, and then was like, "Oh, but that was my bad. You should go and get like the Winter Maiden powers. Like, you're fine." What if she can't hold it? What if she can't handle it?
What you mean that
What
if
if
someone
Salem's-
can't take to?
Yeah, like what if Salem's purposefully sending her to go and get the Winter Maiden powers because she knows that her body won't handle it?
But that's why she's changing her body maybe into Grim. Is because she knows that Cinder's human vessel can't handle it. But if she Grimifies her, she might actually be able to tolerate having, because we don't know anyone that had more than one maiden power, so it could legit be that. It's all very dark and angsty, and there's just too many theories. Yeah, it has to be the maiden, so that, like, let's just lock Salem in the closet, basically, and throw away the key.
I mean, Salem might lose the fall one, but also, like, Salem might be the last person that Cinder thinks of. So it might get passed on to her. Don't know.
Yeah. Man. I mean, yeah, the other thing that could probably get Salem is Silver Eyes, like, right on her. But then what happened with Summer Rose that didn't happen? We're pretty sure that Summer Rose, whatever happened to her, Salem was probably, like, the last person that she saw. So what happened? So why wasn't she able to? So, yeah. I mean, it would be pretty I guess it would be a pretty weird, like, not very dramatic way for Salem to end, but also it would be kind of poetic because she was hunting all these, like, relics.
Yeah.
And she also started her life locked in a tower. So it would be full circle bookend.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh yeah, because we gotta do our rapid recap.
Yeah.
Just adjust my jacket
I'm,
for the
like,
recap.
hoping that I can actually do it this time.
Holy shit, there's a lot.
Yeah, but also because it's from the Mac, like,
You got
it's
it.
super different.
I believe. I trust and believe in you. So if you've not been here before, this little section is where Senny has to recap the content of the episodes in 1 minute or less in the most accurate way possible. I think the Cinder shit might throw you.
I don't know.
Because, like, it usually throws you if it's Cinder Neo content. This is, like, a lot of Cinder content.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get bogged down here.
I mean, the real question is, can I see?
Fuck. I don't know, can you? I'm not your eyes.
I think this is gonna be really fucking hard.
Oh, I don't think it will be easy.
Yeah.
But whenever you're ready, I will start the timer.
Okay.
You're just kind of taking it all in.
I'm actually, like, my brain is just not processing the images. I think because it's a black background. I'm used to them being a white background. So all of the pictures are, like, blending together.
Makes it more interesting.
Yeah, anyway, I'm going to cover the chat.
Yes, the chats can't distract.
Yes, because it often do.
It doth distract.
Okay.
Alright, just whenever you're ready. Come on.
I'm just quickly going row by row so that I can make sure that I've kind of got it.
It's
Okay.
It's a pretty simple narrative structure.
Okay.
You good?
Go.
Go.
Okay, so we open up and it's all about Cinder's backstory, and she was badly abused as a kid by a very terrible stepmother. She gets trained by a huntsman. The huntsman trains her too good. She just learns how to fight and murder, and then she murders her basically captives, and then she murders the huntsman. She has absolutely no remorse for it, it doesn't seem like, but she is happy to be free, but then she's not free because she wakes up in Salem's whale. Emerald's trying to be comforting. Mercury comes in and is like a Chad.
30 seconds.
Okay, and then we've got Oscar and Hazel, and then he plants the seed of doubt into him, and then Salem's like, I need you on the bridge, and then she explains her evil plan and how things are going to be. She tortures Cinder some more, because why not? And then we get the Aesops going and seeing like Yang and all of that, and then they're trying to explain about the river explodes, it like attacks Atlas, the whale like lands on Atlas, it unleashes all of the Grimm, and we get everyone's reactions and about how shocked they are that it happened.
Oh, that it happened. Well done.
God, my throat is so raw.
It's raw.
So raw.
I love that, like, Salem's whale now just sounds like an innuendo to me. The way you said it, I was like, that's obviously an innuendo. Well done.
Oh.
10 out of 10 recap.
Thanks.
You covered all the bases.
Mark the Chad.
You didn't miss much, I don't think, actually. I mean, you didn't talk about the strawberry cake instance specifically, so
No.
I'll mark you down for that.
And she tortures Cinder some more because why not?
Yeah. The way that you just like casually like say stuff like that, like, yeah, why not? Because why not?
See, because my throat's so sore as well, I was like, I can't like rapid talk about this.
Yeah,
It's
it was quite controlled actually. There was
Thank
the chaos, but like you felt I felt like there was a certain confidence to it. That
because it was all about Cinder, so I could condense it down to Cinder backstory and then just put some like keywords in there and then move on.
yeah, I just went Cinder, huntsman, murder, kidnapped.
Yeah, I think the first one was a certain level of chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was my best recap.
Oh, I think it was
But
strong.
The worst is still episode 2.
Yeah,
It just bounced about too much, and my brain was like, "Nah, I don't know how to do this, bro."
I think the highlight is probably still the first one for just like Neo's in a whale, and you got real stuck in the whale sequence.
Oh man.
Oh, it's warm suddenly. This is what happens when we get to the end of the episode recap.
Take your jacket off.
For this stream.
I'm literally in shorts. Take the jacket off.
Whoa! Don't tell them that.
I mean, they would have seen it when I came back.
That's true. Or maybe the stream was still too glitchy that it was just like a mirage.
Yeah, I was not there, and then I was in the chair.
Yeah, not there in the chair. Alright. Do we wanna...
Congratulations on your graduation.
Wait, oh yeah, I suppose, yeah, time difference. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's very late. But then, yeah, it'll probably be daytime.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. Shall we do the rapid recap? No, the rapid trivia.
Yeah.
I hope that your throat recovers, because I got some hard questions, because you decided to be real specific with me last week. So fuck you. I think I'm still ahead by like, I don't know. We've got it charted.
You've got it in the notepad.
Oh. So do you want to do that? Shall we? Shall I get my questions?
The fear is real.
You guys can feel free to play along in the chat. It's just a random RWBY trivia thing. It's like a lightning round, so you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer as many of these as possible correctly.
Yep. Is there
Ideally.
10?
I think so.
Okay.
So we'll see how you go. But yeah, I would like some vengeance for the specific bullshit questions you gave me last week.
I tried to do the RWBY rewatch and I only got to like halfway through volume 2.
What do you mean?
Remember last week I was like,
you were
I'll
like,
have
oh
to
yeah,
rewatch
I'll
RWBY.
be good. Yeah, you were like, I got this.
I got like halfway through volume 2.
Okay, you're fucked.
I'm fucked. Okay.
Alright. Right, you ready? Tell me when.
Go.
What is the name of Saffron and Terra's child?
No idea.
You fucking dick. What were Pyrrha's last words?
Oh fuck, skip for just now.
Okay, what is the name of the train that takes the gang northwest at the start of volume 6?
I have absolutely no idea, but Saffron's child is called Adrian.
Yep, okay, we got that.
And then just the next one.
Who established the Schnee Dust Company?
Weiss's grandfather?
What's his fucking name?
I don't fucking know. Go, next.
What are the names of the 4 relics?
I've absolutely no idea. Next.
Really? What season does volume 3 take place in?
Fall?
Autumn, yeah.
Autumn, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Pyrrha's last words were, "Do you believe in destiny?"
Okay.
Next.
What is the episode title for the episode in which Cinder and Co infiltrate the Beacon Dance?
Dance Infiltration.
Yeah, you watched it this week, so thank God.
No, I didn't get there.
Which huntsmen offer their assistance to the squad at the beginning of volume 6?
Crow?
Nope.
Anyway, next one.
At what family event does Weiss find out that her dad only married her mum?
Her birthday.
Her birthday!
You're way too slow at reading these out.
What?
There's 5 seconds left.
You want me to give you one of the old ones back?
No, because it's out of time.
Oh. So what ones you didn't get? You eventually got the child. You remember the child's name? You eventually got the "Do you believe in destiny?"
Yep.
You couldn't name Grandpa Schnee, so I'm not going to give you it.
Who is he?
He's Nicholas Schnee.
I wouldn't have known that.
You didn't get the train name, which was the name of the episode 2, which is Argus Limited.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
Okay. You totally skipped the relics. I don't know why.
I don't know the names of the relics.
Sword of Destruction, Staff of Creation, Crown of Choice, and Lamp of Knowledge.
I literally don't know any of those.
You don't know the Lamp of Knowledge?
I didn't know it was called that.
Okay.
I just referred to it as the lamp.
Did you just think it was just a big titty gin lady?
No, I just would have called it the lamp.
Okay. You got the season. You got the name of the episode. You didn't get the huntsman from Volume 6, which were Dee and Dudley.
Okay.
The ones that Yang was just like, what the fuck?
I totally forgot they even existed.
I mean, to be fair, one of them died pretty quickly, so... But you remembered Weiss's sad birthday.
Yep. And what was the last question? Or, like, how many others were there?
There was more, but...
How many more?
None. I miscounted 10, I think. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shit. Yeah, I did. Because I wrote one and scored it out, but I accidentally counted it.
Oh.
So
how many did I get?
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5.
Where's the tally thing?
Where's the tally? How we doing? Big titty gin lady. I love how we're still on the is she gonna call it Yang meme?
Where did it go?
I think it might have fallen.
Oh.
Well, I love how everybody's like her 10th birthday specifically.
You're 1 point ahead of me still.
1 point.
Just one.
Whew. But it's not fair. You get assistance. I have to come up with the questions myself.
They were hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, but.
Dance Infiltration. I will never forget that episode.
Yeah, it was a good title name. So I was like, you might get this because it's kind of implied in the description for the episode.
Yeah. Honestly, like this one, what were Pyrrha's final words, I could see the scene, but I couldn't hear it, and I was like, oh my god.
Do you believe?
Yeah, and then suddenly it just came back to me, and I was like, Adrian! Yeah, you can ask as well.
I know.
But she's stubborn, and she won't. She just wants to bitch about it.
Yeah. Now name all the Grimm. No, I'm not fine. I can't name all the Grimm.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have known. What were you going to ask?
Which
characters have hit Oscar over
and
the
then
volume?
I realised that, like, technically Jean, like, didn't hit him, so I was like, it's actually not that hard. Because it would have just been
I don't think
Crow and Hazel.
Yeah. I think I would have forgotten about Crow. Actually.
I think they were gasps of pain. I mean, I did think that. I was like, actually, technically she went, but you know, it's not words.
What, Pyrrha?
Yeah, Pyrrha dying. Yeah.
Jessie, honestly, there is, like, such a delay. Sometimes people talk to me and I go, sorry, what? And then halfway through they start explaining it again. I'm like, oh yeah, here's the answer. Because it's, like, finally actually went through.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any, like, questions about the episode or RWBY or, like, theories for how this is all gonna cliffhang for next week, feel free to put them in the chat. We're probably not going to run on too much longer because we obviously did have that issue in the middle of the stream, which was not fun. And I don't want to burn my CPU out completely because we have one more of these today before I'll eventually... Thank God they're doing a mid-season break because I'm not going to get my PC back until probably like January at this point. So, yeah. Glad there's a break so that I don't break my laptop doing this. Yeah. Hacked Penny will maybe be the cliffhanger. I don't think so.
No, I think it might be higher stakes than that.
It's still pretty high stakes, but I feel like we kind of all assume it has to, I mean, I feel like it's going to be something like the Grim Pool going upwards. It's going to be something we're not expecting, and it's not been foreshadowed in the same way. Like, there was no foreshadowing about that pool going upwards, which is why it was so, like, what the fuck when it happened.
Yeah.
Do you think Hazel is going to ask Oz more about what will happen if Salem gets the relics? Potentially, because...
Maybe, but he doesn't super trust Ozpin, so,
He doesn't, but also he did seem a little bit intrigued before Salem came in and was like, it's time.
That's true.
So he might have actually wanted to hear a little bit more, because, like, do you really want a world that is ruled by Salem?
Yeah.
Like, if you care about all these kids, like,
well,
what?
that's like the thing about Hazel is that when Oscar was like, why do you work for her? Like, you can just walk away. Hazel was like, nah, she's a force of nature. She can't be stopped. Like, the way that he was talking about it is like, he has no choice. So he just has to follow her.
He does, but maybe if he's presented with an opportunity to get rid,
then he'll take it.
Yeah, he might take it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Raven. I don't know.
That's my other theory, actually.
Yeah.
Like, about who's gonna actually come to Atlas's aid.
Yeah.
Realistically and geographically, no way anybody from Menagerie is, because it's so far to the southeast.
So far away.
It won't be in time. Probably not Mistral either, because again, pretty far. Like, unless you went from Argus.
I'm gonna look up a map of Remnant, because I don't actually think I've seen it.
And then you will have. And then Vacuo, maybe Vacuo, depends how far north they are in Vacuo. Vale is, like, the closest, really, to Atlas. So, my suspicion is that what might happen... It depends, because we really don't know what Raven's fucking doing. I mean, Raven is hiding, but if Raven really does think that, like, actually everything's going to go to shit and eventually Salem will find her regardless, maybe she'll finally actually, like, take a stand and be like, well... she's gonna kill me at some point, so I might as well try and do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously would be the optimum way to get to
God, Menagerie is
Atlas.
so south.
It's so south. But that would be the optimum way to get to Atlas, would be... because we don't know if there's, like, a limit on how many people she can get through her portal. It seems like she can hold it for quite a while. So, I mean, a fucking bike went through it, so... That means that you can also put more than just people through it. You can put objects through it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if possible, because Ty, I think, will definitely want to go. And if Raven's there, he might be like, look, we need to go. You're going to portal us there, but maybe we should stop by Beacon.
Yeah, pick up Glinda.
Maybe Ublik. Like, get some, like, decent huntsman and go.
Beacon's in Vale, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the
like,
closest.
Patch is here.
It's the closest.
Yeah.
Other than Argus Limited, which is there.
Where?
That little blue bit is Argus Limited.
Ah, okay.
Not Argus Limited, it's Argus. Fuck, the train's Argus Limited.
Yeah. Yeah, because Menagerie is like a way down here.
So it would take ages.
Kuokuana.
But in Vacuo's away to the south.
Yeah, so I really don't think that we're gonna see like Sun and Neptune this side of the volume, if at all, in this volume, because they're so far away. But yeah.
But that's the only way I can see them really getting quickly there. I just don't know. It depends what Raven does. I could also see her opening a portal just for Ty, or she might open a portal for who Ty requests, but she doesn't come herself.
Yeah, like she might make the portal, go with him to Vale so that they can get Glinda, and then portal them to Atlas, and she'll just be like, back.
I'm out of here. That could be it, rather than her actually fully committing and going full like, oh yeah, I gotta actually stand up to Salem.
Yeah.
But yeah, the situation is so dire though that I wonder if she would be like, well, she's gonna kill me if I don't do anything. She'll come and kill me anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And especially because Cinder does know who she is now, like she can pass that on to Raven. Because I don't think that Raven has a scroll, really. I think she's like completely disconnected from the world. But yeah. She wouldn't need to bond with them because she was able to send Yang through the portal with Weiss.
And the bike.
So if...
It's not that she can't... It's not that... the difference with Raven is she can create portals to people she cares about or has a bond with, but it doesn't matter who goes through the portal. So that's how she was able to create one to Crow, and Yang and Weiss and the bike could go through it, is that it's like... basically the person she cares about is an anchor for the other side of the portal.
Yeah.
It's
so
not
like that might actually like screw it over for her like going to Vale to get like Glinda, because there might not be a connection there if that is how it works. Like if she can only make portals to...
But I don't think Vale and Patch are that far. They could hop on a boat.
They could hop on a boat,
go
but
over.
that's if Raven has stayed in Patch.
Yeah, well, we didn't see her, which I'm wondering if that was deliberate or not, if she was just, like, somewhere, but they were like, well, we don't really need to have her here.
Yeah, we don't need to ruin that spoiler. Yeah. She's still actually here with Ty, like, how many volumes after? 3?
Several.
4?
3? Is that volume 5? That was volume 5. Yeah, because she
also
fled.
Maybe, like, might portal to Crow.
Wouldn't that be
instead of
wild?
Yang, and it's just like
Too many
you're in a
birds.
jail cell.
Too many birds.
Well, yeah, because we've got
Robin's
Robin,
just like...
yeah, Robin, Crow, and Raven.
yeah.
And it's like, could we get any more bird people in here?
Could we fit any more bird people in this
A
cell?
sparrow like flies through.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
anyway.
Jacques just like, who are these savages? Especially Ty's like roll up shorts that can turn into jeans. He's like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah, his chinos actually have like a button
Yeah.
just above the knee so
Yeah.
that when he rolls them up, he
They
can
do.
just button them.
His cat can
Yeah.
do. Maybe he'll be like, that'll freak him out, Jacques.
Also, yeah, maybe Raven's in the shower
That's true.
when we saw Ty. We don't know.
Or maybe she's like, maybe she's doing some gardening. I think it was dark to be fair, but
It was dark. It was nighttime.
yeah, she's doing some night gardening.
Moonflowers, man.
She's planting some corpses in the garden.
Oh, man.
Bird boys, I like it.
Love that.
I do feel like it could have like Infinity War vibes, but obviously she's kind of limited in how many portals she can open.
Yeah.
But I do want the satisfaction of people arriving, but then at the same time, I just can't see how it would realistically happen super quickly, because, oh man, I can't believe this volume's only like another like 24 hours max maybe,
Yeah.
and that's it. That just doesn't seem like a lot of time.
Yeah. I feel like next week's episode is going to be the end of the full 24 hours.
What? Like the first 24 hours?
The first 24 hours,
okay.
and then the second half that we get from February onwards is the next
well,
24
it's
hours.
perfectly split, because it's 14 episodes.
Yeah.
So this is, as much as this feels like a lot of stuff, obviously, and we also kind of feel like we're getting into an end game already. Like
Yeah.
there's still like 7 episodes to follow this.
Yeah.
Well, to follow next week's episode.
Exactly. Anything else you want to say, or do you want to just peace?
I don't know.
Because
I know.
we've hit
No,
over 2 hours.
Raven has no reason to fight. But if Salem decides to wipe out humanity, she might. Like
Yeah.
even if it's not a maiden thing anymore, like
If it's just a basic
if
survival
it's just like,
thing.
oh yeah, she's literally going to wipe everyone out, then maybe Raven will actually be like, yeah, maybe we should do something this time, because Salem's hid in the shadows for so long. She's never made a move like this.
No.
So maybe she might actually have to do something.
I also want to know why Neo ran away from Salem.
What?
In volume 2.
She ran away from Salem?
Neo did. Yeah.
What do you mean she ran?
Not Salem. Fuck. Raven.
Oh, okay.
Got my names mixed up.
I was like,
Died a
what?
little bit in
When
my
did
head.
she run away from
No,
Salem?
when Raven came through the portal, Neo was like, "Oh fuck," and she like disappeared.
I think it was
I
by.
want to know why.
I think it was by reputation. I think Raven was actually quite well known in the sort of
Yeah.
shady scenes of like out over Mistral Way. I think that she was sort of known, like the tribe, because they seemed like they were into the shady underworld,
Yeah.
underbelly, and we know that Mistral has like a quite expansive criminal network, so it wouldn't be surprising if just by reputation Neo knew exactly who she was by the mask. She was like, oh fuck, it's that
Fuck
bitch.
this, I'm out
Bye.
of here. Bye.
Yeah.
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 Anyway. Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, lads, and putting up with the random crash that almost looks like a COVID curve chart, actually, a little bit.
It really do be looking like a COVID curve chart.
Yeah, the way that the stream just dipped in viewers and then went back up. Yeah.
I think actually a lot of people left and came back in case it was their internet.
Yeah.
So
But this was fun, and there'll be one more of these. Hopefully our systems hold out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited for next time.
definitely.
I think it was my cursing actually that cursed it. That's why it died.
Yeah.
It was too strong, the cursing.
You like hadn't pulled yourself together adequately enough, so the stream was like, fuck this.
Yeah, it sucked, but it didn't completely die. Thankfully,
Yeah.
got it back.
Hopefully next week it's
It's
kind of smooth sailing.
We'll see.
We'll
But at
see.
least we know we can fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Until
Yeah.
we get the computer back for the second
Please
half
give
of
me
the volume.
the computer back.
So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and I hope you have a great week ahead of the final episode of this half of the season. So
Oh Jesus! And then it's Christmas. Maybe
And
we'll
then
do like
it's
a
Christmas.
Christmas stream at some point. We shall see.
What time?
Happy Chrysler.
Maybe closer to a new year. Like
maybe actually
in between
a
Christmas
New Year
and
one
New
would
Year.
make more sense because we're doing fuck all at New Year.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that.
So
Anyways, shall we flip out?
you can flip side it. I flip side it on the reactions.
We don't really flip out in the streams. We just kind of end it, don't we?
Flip out the stream.
Flipping it out.
Flip side it, bro.
Flip sides. Bro.
Bro. Bro. Bro.
Bro.